What if Saturn's beauty is not the opposite of violence, but evidence of it? Its rings look permanent from Earth, yet they are made of ice and rock particles moving through a changing gravitational system. Inside the planet, pressure transforms hydrogen into a metallic fluid. Around it, gravity heats moons, shapes storms, and draws ring material into the atmosphere. This is not a horror story. It is a record of ordinary physics operating at a scale that makes the planet look calm from a distance. The relationship between Saturn and its moons is not one of harmony. It is a study in gravitational coercion. To understand how this planet acts as both creator and destroyer, we must look at the moon Enceladus, a small world approximately 500 kilometers in diameter. From a distance, Enceladus appears to be a pristine sphere of ice. But beneath its crust lies a global subsurface ocean, kept liquid by an extraordinary process known as tidal heating. As Enceladus orbits Saturn, the gas giant's immense gravity pulls and stretches the moon like taffy. This constant physical kneading generates internal friction, converting orbital energy into heat. Tidal heating. This mechanism is what allows life-sustaining conditions to exist in its depths. Yet this same force is a violent mechanical process. It literally twists the moon's interior until it fractures, forcing water and organic compounds through cracks in the ice crust as massive geysers. Saturn provides the energy for these plumes of life, but only by physically agonizing the moon's structure to keep it from freezing solid. It is a paradox of celestial mechanics. Enceladus exists in its current state because of a violent, constant assault from its host planet. It is being squeezed into existence while simultaneously being torn apart by the very forces that give it life. This duality defines Saturn's reach. It does not merely host its moons, it shapes them through raw physical pressure. But if a moon can be both sustained and tortured, what becomes of objects caught in the planet's immediate grasp? The answer lies in the very structure we admire most from Earth, the rings. We often perceive these bands as static ornaments, a permanent crown. However, modern physics tells us they are an ephemeral phenomenon. They are a vanishing crown, a transient state that makes Saturn look like a jewel only because of our specific vantage point in time. The rings are slowly losing material through a process known as ring rain. Electrically charged particles from the rings follow magnetic field lines into Saturn's upper atmosphere. NASA estimates that the flow carries enough water products to fill an Olympic-sized swimming pool every 30 minutes. The exact lifetime depends on which ring population and measurement rate are used, so the timescale is an estimate, not a countdown clock. Every 30 minutes. On a cosmic timescale, this is rapid decay. Saturn's visible ring system spans roughly 280,000 kilometers, yet its main rings are only about 10 meters thick. NASA models have estimated that the rings could largely disappear within roughly 100 to 300 million years, depending on the assumed rate and which rings are counted. We are not watching a guaranteed deadline, we are observing a system whose appearance changes over geological time. For years, humanity sent an emissary into this domain to witness these mechanics firsthand. The Cassini spacecraft spent 13 years studying Saturn, its moons, and its rings. It helped establish the importance of Enceladus's plumes and measured material falling from the rings into Saturn's upper atmosphere. But eventually, the mission reached its planned conclusion. On September 15, 2017, Cassini was directed into Saturn's atmosphere to protect the moons from possible contamination. From atmospheric entry until loss of contact, it transmitted data for about 1 minute while its thrusters fought to keep the antenna pointed toward Earth. It was then destroyed by the atmosphere it had been measuring. In those final moments, the mission completed a precise scientific sequence. Saturn can look beautiful and remain physically hostile at the same time. Those descriptions are not competing explanations. One describes our view, while the other describes the processes shaping the system. The rings are not ornaments. They are a temporary debris field governed by gravity, collisions, magnetic forces, and orbital motion. Saturn's atmosphere has no solid surface for a probe to land on, and its pressure and temperature increase with depth. A spacecraft designed for orbit cannot simply descend indefinitely and remain intact. The reality of Saturn is not indifference in a human sense, it is the absence of human intention. Tidal forces can help maintain a subsurface ocean in Enceladus while also deforming its icy shell. Ring particles can form a bright ordered pattern while slowly migrating into the atmosphere. We looked at this system for centuries and saw a jewel, but the jewel was never static. The better conclusion is more precise. Saturn is a demonstration of what happens when gravity, pressure, heat, and orbital motion operate over immense distances and timescales. These processes were active long before spacecraft arrived, and they will continue after our observations end. The important lesson is not that monsters are hidden in the shadows. It is that visual beauty can coexist with extreme physical conditions. The rings, the storms, and the plumes are not decorations added to Saturn. They are visible consequences of the mechanics we are trying to understand. Saturn was never hiding its nature. We were looking at a dynamic system through an aesthetic lens. The closer Cassini came, the clearer the pattern became. The same physics that makes Saturn spectacular also makes it impossible to treat as a peaceful ornament.